the Lakhpati sweepers of Telangana. Well, that's right. Well, many people believe that Sarkari jobs are for stability. Slow and steady wins the race. But I think, again, today we are going to tell you about the Lakhpati sweepers of Telangana. Yes, you heard that right. They are Lakhpatis and they are the corporate sweepers. A senior sweeper in the Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, for example, earns more than some of the IAS officers in the state of Telangana. Well, just like the tortoise, a long and steady Sarkari job in Revanth Reddy's Telangana may just get you a bumper paycheck. But here's the catch. It's not a token of appreciation for the frontline workers, but it is now an election SOP. That's right. Salary hikes are being dished out every election cycle. Now, this is the big admission coming in from the Babus themselves. In fact, it is the Chief Secretary of Telangana, K. Ramakrishna Rao, who himself has said that there has been a 300% hike in expenditure in the last 10 years because of successive pay revisions. And these pay revisions are coinciding with election cycles. Essentially, every election, there's a big increment. In the last 10 years alone, there's been a 300% increment when it comes to the amount that Telangana is spending on services. For example, where is all this money going to? Let's tell you. A senior sweeper in Telangana gets a whopping amount of money. In fact, we are going to tell you senior sweepers are getting up to 2 lakh rupees per month. A chief engineer gets about 7 lakh rupees per month, and an IAS chief secretary gets about 2.5 lakh rupees per month. So as you can see, a chief engineer will earn more than an IAS officer. But the first plate that we are going to show you of the graphics also, which is going to show you how senior sweepers get about 2 lakh rupees per month and chief engineers are getting 7 lakh rupees. Let's show you next, because all of this, remember, is because a senior sweeper, as we are just telling you, 2 lakh rupees per month, 1.8 lakh rupees per month is what an IAS principal secretary. So you can see a senior sweeper, a Safai Karamchari, gets more money than an IAS principal secretary. Why? Because with 30 plus years of state increments come in, and that is greater than what a senior bureaucrat can make, because you have 30 years of successive increments which have been given to the Safai Karamchari. And this kind of increments are not seen by IAS officers. A senior driver in Telangana State Sarkar gets roughly 1 lakh rupees per month. An IAS officer, such as a district magistrate, a DM, makes only 1.2 lakh rupees per month. Why this huge discrepancy? It's because long-serving drivers out-earn mid-level IAS babus, such as district magistrates, and those who are above them just about make a bit more than the Sarkari drivers. Imagine, this is more lucrative than becoming an IAS officer. Now look at this, regularized sanitation worker. How much does a sanitation worker in Telangana earn? 70,000 rupees per month. And an IAS officer, at the entry-level IAS officer, makes only 56,100 rupees. So a sanitation worker is essentially earning more than an entry-level IAS officer there, because the state sanitation workers are getting an increment year on year on year. A fresh clerk at an entry level gets about 28,000 rupees. An IAS officer at entry level gets about 80,000 to 1 lakh rupees. The gap is because IAS starts at a higher, however, state officers are overtaking them later. So this gives you a sense of the way there has been a discrepancy over the years, which are being overcome by the state Karamchari. So let me tell you about the comparison between Telangana's government employees and the centrally appointed IAS officers. Because in Telangana, the broom beats the babu's paycheck. Telangana's chief secretary is earning this huge amount. But what is the reason behind the Lakhpati sweepers? Well, let's tell you this. Well, what we do know is that the pay revisions have been linked to the poll cycles, is what the chief secretary has said. What is the fallout of that? Is that every time there is a rise in the state's fixed expenditure in the long run. Also, the chief secretary said that the dearness allowance, remember, for everyone, and this is the latest one which has been revised, the dearness allowance right now stands at over 33% of the basic salary. This means that, this has been a year-on-year expenditure for the state government. Also, most of the employees are being covered under the national pension system coverage. The fallout is that there is a long-term fiscal liability which is caused. So let me go across to our guests now and discuss more on this. Well, in fact, we are today joined by Syed Asad Abbas, a political analyst, also joined by Dinakar Lanka, a leader with the BJP, joining us also Ravula Sridhar Reddy, spokesperson with the BRS. I'm going to start with you first, Mr. Sridhar Reddy, because after all, the Chief Secretary has hinted that it is your government, your party when it was in government, who have been increasing the salaries of the sanitation workers, which is not keeping with either the inflation or anyone else here who has been given 300% increment in the last 10 years alone. How do you respond to that? Is it because every election you're giving big hikes to government servants?
I don't think the CS means that. Basically, I read his expression also. End of the day, if anybody has any problem with increment of salaries of the sweepers or sanitation staff, or is it only meant for IAS officers? I think every employee at his level, in his own profession, rather in his own job chart, does the maximum for the state and for the duties which were allocated to him. So what are the people are trying to communicate? I didn't understand this particular discussion at all, because in 2014 and 15, the state of Telangana budget was 1,637 crores. And now it is close to 3.5 lakhs crores.
Right.
So what is the percentage basically? Basically, yes, out of the revenue receipts, rather in the revenue, expenditure, we'll count this. But ultimately, what is the ratio that we are talking about? Yes, at times it might go up and down, but are we really valuing the services they are rendering? Can any government run the state without employees, either in police or revenue or sanitation or municipal corporations or agriculture? When the state is growing and every sector is growing, look at the law and order. I mean, Hyderabad itself, we have actually restructured the entire police department. We had to increase the police personnel. Same way in the irrigation, same way in the, as we have increased the municipal corporations and all, the urbanization is going up. So everywhere. But
Sridhar Reddy, no one's saying go without the services. My specific question, which you have dodged, is that if these increments have been linked to election cycles, that's what you haven't answered.
I don't think so, because every 5 years PRC happens. In between, sometimes the governments give them interim, revisions, and DA also has to increase because there is inflation. Every year we, witness, and elections do come and go. The governments are supposed to take care of the employees.
Okay.
Where is the question of? So if you increase it only by 25%.
But that is exactly what the Chief Secretary has said, that it is coinciding with elections, and you said you've heard him, so you know that is true. So let me go across to Dinakar Lanka. If there is no problem, if this is not linked to it, if it is the previous BRS governments who are just trying to help everyone who is working in the municipal corporation, what's wrong?
I don't want to spell out and take example a particular state. It is the problem everywhere I am watching. Most particularly both Telugu states in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. After the year 2014, Telangana government all of a sudden had given 42% fitment, which were forced for the Andhra Pradesh government to implement same thing. Then started this financial burden in addition to the normal and general hike which happens every year, or a particular pay revision.
Plus dearness allowance and all, which continues.
This problem was happened in addition to the regular hike as per the pay review commission. It happened in both the states. And apart from these pays, whatever we are comparing with one category of employees to another, it may not be appropriate, because the service period is also very much vital to consider whether it is a sweeper or IAS officer, police officer, that doesn't matter. But unfortunately, the 42% fitment which has been given as a gift, which has been provided additional burden on the exchequer in both Telugu states, in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And I am very much pertinent as far as the freebies are concerned. It is the concern now, not only the employee salaries, of course, employee salaries, what I had observed nearly 80% of the budget is eating for employee salaries, pensions, post-benefit obligations, as well as repayment of debts of respective states, whether it is Telangana and other states also. How can sustain with remaining 20% these state governments for capital expenditure and other development expenditure? It is the problem.
But if it is a problem with Andhra Pradesh, you are alliance partners. Then have you told your alliance partner, Chandrababu Naidu?
No. It is. I am not. It should not be blamed particular party, particular individual. It is happening across the state. I have the matrix of all the states.
Across the states, it's happening. Okay. In that case, Syed Asad Abbas, what's wrong? If it is happening across all states, across all parties as well, that there are big hikes, which is a good thing, right? Sarkari Naukri, and it's great they are giving better dividends than being an IAS officer or even a district magistrate.
Meghna ji, I've always believed with great power, there's great responsibility and equal accountability. Dinakar Lanka ji, I was listening to you, sir, and you were speaking of the freebie culture, every culture, and so on and so forth. But sir, isn't it shocking and hypocritical to me when I see the same in Rekha Gupta's government in Delhi? Not just that, sir, Ladki Behna, what is that in Maharashtra? As a matter of fact, Chandrababu Naidu ji also has many such schemes. So therefore, we need to understand when the BJP calls out to a Telangana Congress government, they need to look within themselves. Otherwise, it will be called hypocrisy ki bhi seema hoti hai. It's the pot calling the kettle black. Now coming straight to the Telangana. Meghna ji, let us understand that the state of Telangana has managed to sustain the expenditure through strong economic performance, recording roughly 11% growth and a steady increase in revenue sources, as per the gentleman you mentioned, the Chief Secretary, K. Ramakrishnan Rao. Not just that, Telangana Congress government under Revanth Reddy Garu, who's the Honorable Chief Minister, created robust digital infrastructure for subsidies, distributing over 7,000 crore under Raitu Bandhu with only 6% error rate. And in the first 10 years since the formation of Telangana, the state incurred a total expenditure of about rupees 15 lakh crore, of which nearly 12 lakh crore went towards salaries, pensions and debt repayment, and around 3 lakh crore towards capital expenditure, and only about 15,000 crore was generated through asset sales.
Okay.
So therefore, let us also understand, my dear brother Ravula Sridhar Reddy Garu, respected sir, the Congress government under Revanth Reddy Garu is only following suit what you set the structure. And let me agree with you on a point that, be it a sweeper, be it a sanitation worker, sir, I will stand with you when you pay off.
It's
equal pay
unfortunate, but
parity.
we've run out of time. It's unfortunate, but we've run out of time. But one thing is for sure, Sarkari Naukri is suddenly very lucrative, especially if you're in the state of Telangana. If we see a similar kind of trend across India, and parties as well, perhaps it's not a bad thing, is it? Syed Asad Abbas, thank you so much for joining us. Dinakar Lanka, appreciated, as well as Sridhar Reddy for joining us here on the show. Without a short break, don't go anywhere.